I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night. Thank you for watching this transmission. It is I, Mike Martins. Thank you for joining in and tuning into a bunch of crap or whatever crap they're trying to sell us in the news. Hope you have your morning coffee with you. It is morning in Australia, so good morning to y'all down under. And we got Super Mario, who is going to be
It's me, Mario!
co-hosting the show with us, so we're going to go from there. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, be part of the channel, see what we got going on. And don't forget to set your reminders for upcoming live streams. Also, guys, we got Instagram. You could send me your Mike Martins Official is my Instagram handle, Mike Martins Official. Send me your show tips there, and I'll be happy to see if I could read them on the show. All right, so this is coming out of Tampa Bay. President Joe Biden and wife get booed at Super Bowl 55. So there it is right there. I'm not going to play it because they're going to flag it right away. But the booing it's just powerful. Somebody that got that as many votes as he does being booed at a Super Bowl, I don't know what the heck is going on. So this is it right here. The MSM News is calling it domestic terrorists in the crowd were booing. That's what they're playing it off as. So go ahead and watch the video yourself. It says here, watch President Joe Biden and his wife get booed at Super Bowl 55. All right, what else is going on? Trump is winning election lawsuits in case you haven't heard. Trump has won 2/3 of the cases that have been adjudicated by the courts. So this is something that people should be looking out for because I think something weird is happening on the back end. So we're gonna have God Rules back on the channel on the 20th of February. Let me just confirm that with you guys. Yeah, he's gonna be coming on the 20th of February. God Rules Tony is going to be back on the channel to give us a little insight on what's happening because something is happening down south in the United States, and I think there's something going on. So this is the biggest protest in human history right here. Indian farmers' largest protest in history. When you think of some of the largest protests in history, what protests do you think of? You might think of Martin Luther King, Gandhi, maybe even recent George Floyd or Berlin Wall. Well, this is it. The greatest protest is happening right now. It is estimated that now on November 26th, 250 million people protested. 250 million. So there's more, and it's still going on today. And any reporters reporting on protests being shot, protesters being shot, any journalists like reporting on anything like that are actually getting fined and put in prison. I'm not making this up. And Indian farmers' largest protest in history. So this is very important. This article's from 2 days ago, but this is India fighting back against the I think the governments that are there or government in power is selling off land as corporate land. And you know there's a lot of land grabs happening right now, especially with Bill Gates, who wants to start his corporate tech country. I read an article yesterday on this channel that has a tech country. They're building a tech country. So in the state of Nevada, if you have 175 or 250 square miles of land, you are allowed to actually create your own country in that region. Yeah, and have your own military, your own tax system, whatever you want. So tech companies are doing this, and this is why Bill Gates is buying up more land, I think, than anyone in history has. All right. This is a video here. I turned down the audio of a police officer that took down a guy with a longboard, and it's pretty intense. I feel for the family. This happened actually in Toronto, and very disappointed with how things are being handled. I can't say much about the guy. He doesn't look that big. He doesn't look like he's a threat, and he kept shouting that he was resisting. He's not doing anything, and then he smashed a taser over his head. And it gets pretty intense. And I don't know why this is happening, guys. I'm not sure why people are getting pushed around and treated like this. It's happened several times in the last couple of weeks in Canada. And I'm just trying to figure out what is going on myself. And he gets his head smashed into the trunk of the vehicle there. And I don't know, gets his hair pulled. So I don't want to get too much into this. It bothers me when I see people in the public figures that are tax money basically doing that to taxpayers. I mean, Iran demands U.S. to lift sanctions before it lives up to nuclear deal. So until it lives up to nuclear deal, Biden warns that revive the deal, but insists that Iran must first reverse its nuclear steps. So they were never going to have some sort of. They'll never have any peace with Iran until Iran starts to sell until Iran stops selling its oil in non-American dollars. It's selling. I think Iran is selling its oil in the renminbi. I think it's in the ruble. I think it's selling in other currencies and the euro. I don't think Iran is selling its oil in U.S. dollars, and that's always been a problem, especially when the U.S. wants to be the petrodollar and the king of. That's what's propping the U.S. dollar right now. There really is nothing else, because the number one export in America is inflation. Reynolds removes restrictions on businesses, gatherings, and masks. So restrictions are being removed. So that's kind of good to hear. And this is in Iowa, so it's good to hear that some places
are left up to bars
are actually taking a turn for the better. WHO, this is by being sent to us by MSM. The WHO team, COVID unlikely to have leaked from China lab. So obviously, China's going to wash its hands of this, and that's how it's going to work. We don't need to say any more of that, right? Okay, so here it is from the Daily Mirror. Mystery new disease with victims vomiting blood and dying within hours claims 15 lives. So there's another one here. Created unnecessary commenting after commenting on the unidentified disease. Okay, I'm not understanding here. A mystery illness which leaves sufferers vomiting blood before some die within hours has claimed at least 15 people and left dozens needing treatment. An unidentified bug which is spreading through southern Tanzania's Maibian region has resulted in over 50 people being hospitalized. But the condition, which can also cause nausea, is unlikely to become widespread outbreak, and men appear to be affected worst, according to health officials. They are also testing local water for potential mercury contamination. So there's something happening there. Again, it could be like water sources, contaminated water sources. This is coming out of Canada. Breaking. Those entering Canada via land border without negative COVID test could face $3,000 fines. So if you are a professional and you lost your job in Canada during the lockdowns and you're a professional, just go to America and don't come back. This way you're safe. And that's what's happening. Canadian brain drain is happening, and it's going to get worse with more professionals leaving Canada. Because if you tie it back to the article I read to you guys the other day on Better Dwelling, to live in an average Canadian city, you need to make an average income of up to $230,000 to live in Vancouver. You need to make $230,000 a year to live in Vancouver. And then you need to make, I think it was $170,000 a year to live in Toronto in a non-condo unit. So Canadians are going to be heading for the border. Federal COVID alert app collects more data than gauge effectiveness. So a lot of these apps, be careful, guys, where you're getting them from, who they are, and what they presume to do for you. Careful, because what they're doing is just taking your information and selling it off to the highest bidders. Let's keep going. Bill Gates global vaccination microchips and patent 060606. It's almost like 666. It is. Okay, there are many conspiracy theories. Some believe that but I'm not going to read that. And the case described below relates to an officially documented fact, although there is something rather biblical about patent WO 2020-060606 was registered on 26th of March 2020. The patent application was filed by Microsoft Technology Licensing LLC, headed by Bill Gates back on the 20th of June 2019. It's a cryptocurrency system using body activity data. I don't even want to read any more of that. That's definitely something. Many Newfoundlanders, seniors can't afford to eat, let alone choose healthy food. say advocates. And this is happening to a lot of people that have fought in a lot of wars, contributed to our infrastructure, and living in one of the more inexpensive provinces in Canada, Newfoundland, and having a tough time getting food. And that's really heartbreaking to see that. Amanda Devlin totes a food hamper from the Bridges of Hope Food Bank to her car, destined for a senior citizen in need. Regular occurrence for her of late. You know, it's getting really tough. Good for her. I'm finding jobs way easy. I'd get hired right away, but they'd offer me minimum wage of 15 to 20 hours a week. I can't live on that. I can't pay my rent. He said Murphy went on social assistance when he turned 60. His Canada pension plan started coming in as well. So there's not enough for a lot of these older people that actually on the front lines of our country, that actually were on the front lines of building, producing, contributing, fighting wars.
It's me, Mario.
Ontario allowing indoor dining for, wait for it, for NHLers while province remains under stay-at-home orders. So good news, if you are an NHL player, you are welcome to go in and dine. Fine dining, candlelit, a little more champagne. Bill Gates buys world's largest private jet company. So here it is. The billionaire is one of the biggest super broadcasters. Cascade Investment, the company that manages the large portion of Bill Gates' asset, recently announced an acquisition of British private jet operator Signature Aviation, along with another investment firm, Blackstone. Signature Aviation manages more than 1.6 million private jet flights annually. A few days before the billionaire's book on climate protection is published, this redemption explodes. So, climate, I don't know what's going on. Oh my God. Let's give him a 1-up for that. All right, let's keep going. Google is burying alternative health sites to protect people from dangerous medical advice. I think it's up to the person reading if they should take the advice. I mean, getting multiple angles or multiple estimates, I guess, is a good way to say it. I think that isn't a bad thing, but Google is doing its job. And I told you guys about digital book burning. We're not book burning right now like we're on the like they did in Berlin back in 1935, 36, up to 39 when they were up in the middle of the streets throwing books in a pile and just burning books and burning knowledge and burning story and burning history and burning everything. But Google has the power to just delete whatever they want. They could even shut this channel down, you know what I'm saying? Anytime. So it's no surprise, that they're controlling that narrative. It's digital book burning is what it is. And I've been saying that for years. Australia is ground zero in the global battle against Google. Now, Google proposed law will shake the global internet and push Biden's team's Silicon Valley friendship to the test. So this is what happened. Facebook and Google are under heat from the mainstream media in Australia because they're not getting paid for the stories that no one's watching dinosaur media anymore. So what's happening is Google and Facebook are scooping up the key stories and posting them on Google News and Yahoo Finance, Yahoo News, and now in Australia, the news broadcasting stations want money for it. They want to get paid for these guys using their story. So now that the Australian governance there, I think Scotty Morrison, I think said it himself, the Prime Minister of Australia, said that it's better that we switch to Bing. I think I went on Bing once and I got a virus. That's just me. So this is reporting here. The Epoch Times is saying hundreds of small businesses across Canada will plan to reopen this week despite local lockdown orders. So there it is, hugs over masks. This is where Eduardo's at. Eduardo's been frontlining this with his, he's been on Mike in the Night many times with his generator got stolen and his speaker equipment and microphone stuff. So, You know, people are pushing like, let's go, let's open, let's do this. I mean, we don't have time to play games or debate here anymore. Okay, what's going on? What is this? Why is this blank? Oh, no. Manitoba confirms first case of UK COVID-19 variant, loosen restrictions coming Friday. Okay, so they are doing this. Allowing indoor sporting facilities such as rinks, gymnastics club, and art studios to reopen 25% of capacity for individual instruction only. Allowing places of worship to hold regular religious services if a service does not exceed 10% of its usual capacity of 50 people, whichever is lower. So they're putting in all these laws in the province of Manitoba. Okay. SpaceX begins accepting $99 pre-orders for its Starlink satellite internet service as Musk eyes IPO. So this is a big threat to local internet service providers. If you could get satellite internet and you could get a good and $99, Elon Musk's SpaceX has widened the scope of public beta test of its Starlink satellite internet service. Starlink website emphasizes that pre-orders are fully refundable, but notes that in the fine print that placing a deposit does not guarantee service. Oh, that's not good. Company at first is offering Starlink to customers in US, Canada, and the United Kingdom. The SpaceX CEO also said that once he can predict cash flow reasonably well, Starlink will IPO. So there it is. There it is right there. So Starlink. So what are you probably thinking, Mike? This is a big tech company. This is, I mean, why are you kind of promoting this? Well, if you're off grid, you're on solar or wind, you're totally off grid and you're living in the woods, but you want your internet and you don't want some cable guy going there with his pants falling down and looking at your situation and saying, "Yeah, we could probably get something in here for you." This is just satellite. You could be right off grid with this, and that's a good thing. You plug it into your normal power if you have solar or wind, and this could give you internet in the most remote places. This is really good. Let's say if it goes worldwide and it does well and it works. Let's say one thing that this guy does actually works right. This is good, because then you could be like in some remote area in the Azores saying, well, the internet's not that good on the island. I'm like, screw that. I'm going to get this. Get it, set it up, put it into your system, and get it work. Get to charge your bank account, your Visa every month. That's it. You can say goodbye to because where I live, I don't have much of a choice for what internet I get because I'm in a small town. But if something like this takes off, I bet you they mail it to you. I bet you this is what happens. They mail you, okay, right here. The company's website emphasizes that the pre-orders are fully refundable. Okay, we read that. SpaceX began a public beta program of Starlink in October with service priced at $99 a month, in addition to a $499 upfront cost to order the Starlink kit plus shipping. So they just mail it to you. And then I guess you have to set it up to the coordinates that they require you to. And they're going to have 4,425 satellites in orbit by 2024, and has launched more than 1,000 Starlink satellites and plans to build and deploy even more advanced versions of its satellites. So this might be, like there's one right there on the ground there. See it there? So this might be good. This just might be something that may be good. In a way, I think this is good. I'm not saying the whole world will go on it. I'm saying if you want to be remote, okay, Starlink will know where you are. Okay, but that's it. I'm saying, if someone tells on you, Starlink's the only place that would know where you are if you're getting off-grid satellite internet. Okay, what is this? Doctor links Pfizer and Moderna vaccine to life-threatening blood disorder. We've heard of several doctors passing away and health workers passing away from blood disorders. Very scary stuff. Facebook urges Myanmar to unlock access to social media as internet blackout reported after military coup. So you guys know what happened there. There was a military coup. They said there was a huge fraud in the elections. So I don't know if they're blaming the systems or the machines or what they're doing. And basically that's it. The country's been under military takeover or military lockdown, and they've been arresting people. So we'll keep you guys up to date on that. Here we go. Musk's Bitcoin tweets could land him in trouble with regulators again. Billionaire tech Elon Musk could face the wrath of regulators after ramping up the price of Bitcoin just days before Tesla revealed a US $1.5 billion purchase. This is from the Australian. This is from Australia. So, yeah, it's from Australia. So 1.9 billion Australian bet on the cryptocurrency. Mr. Musk is likely to be quizzed by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) over whether Tesla already owned Bitcoin when his intervention on social media sent prices surging. Experts said the world's richest man, who is chief executive of Tesla and owns around a fifth of the electric car company, propelled the online currency as much as 20% higher on January 29th after he changed his Twitter profile to include hashtag Bitcoin. So what's he up to, guys? The rich want to get richer. The rich always get richer, man. Toronto doctor says we are currently in transition from one pandemic to another. Oh yeah. So there it is. One pandemic. I'm not even gonna comment on that. Tom Brady called racist on social media for winning Super Bowl during Black History Month. Oh damn you. Not commenting on that. Comment on the comments below. I would like.
It's me, Mario.
Yeah. Go ahead and comment below on that. Lung transplant recipient says he was taken down by hospital security for wearing a face shield instead of a mask. So the story says that his lungs are at 50% capacity, so if he wears a mask, it's really tough for him to breathe. He was wearing a face shield, and he was taken down by the clip-on tie security. I call them clip-on tie security authority figures. Clip-on tie security authority figures. Yeah. What do you think about that, Mario? Yeah, that's what I thought. Beijing demands Canadian media to do more to promote China. They already put up articles. Canada needs more Chinese, 500,000 per year. Birth tourism. They have so many articles reading birth tourism. Have your baby in Canada. You know, like they're doing everything. Canada's doing everything. The Chinese embassy in Canada issued a statement last week demanding that Canadian media outlets do more to promote China-Canadian friendship. The embassy also accused Canadian outlets of being used by anti-China forces to slander Beijing. We call on relevant Canadian media to abide by professional ethics. Well, go ahead and do what you want. Nobody even watches Canadian media anymore. It's bought out. It's bought out. No one watches it anymore. That's a one-up for me. Trudeau dismisses Canadians' concerns over vaccines as noise and anxiety. The great leader is speaking. Watch. Boxburg residents left without power for days take matters into their own hands. So they fixed the power. They pulled the water out. They did what they have to do to fix the power outage. So the community was out of power, I think, for a couple of days. And you're going to start to see, because it wasn't affecting the rich areas, I guess, they've been saying, you know what? Let's take matters into our own hands and fix this problem. And finally, and this is what I've been talking about. People have been, you're going to have a lot of counties like this, especially smaller municipalities. They're going to have a tough time paying their taxes or paying their bills to fund the infrastructure because there's too many politicians pocketing money and everyone's getting a get out of free jail card. And it's great to be a politician right now because the best money making people getting removed from their positions for fraud or for lying or for cheating, and they get a $1.2, $1.5 million severance. That looks scary. Microsoft granted patent to reanimate dead people as 3D chatbots. Now, I'll give you an example. So let's say there's enough information, like me, for example. I have a YouTube channel. I got over 4,000 videos. They could take all my voices, all my different words, all my angles, all my different looks on different screening and stuff. They could actually remake with the amount of info, or they could take somebody like that has a lot of movies, like Elvis Presley. Take all the 28 or 30 movies he made, take all the music videos, all the shots they have of him, all his voice, all his different bites, all sound bites. They could remake a person like this. I mean, but it's going to be soulless. It's not going to have a soul. All right. Air Canada cuts 1,500 more jobs and cancels 17 more routes. Canada's major airline is in trouble, folks. I did buy their stock at $14, and I did sell it when it was up in the 20s, 20 bucks. So there it is. Fort Myers, Florida, Boston, Washington, all American, just basically American, and maybe London, UK, Tokyo, Dublin, Ireland, Seattle. So they're cutting a lot of airlines. It's terrible.
It's me, Mario.
Spy chief says China is bent on stealing Canadian secrets, silencing critics. So there it is. I don't know what big secrets Canada has or what exactly China wants to steal for Canada, but federal officials openly say that China has the capacity to conduct foreign interference in Canada by applying pressure and influence in a clandestine and deceptive way to pursue its strategic objectives. So there you go. China has Canada by the cojones, if you know what I'm trying to say. Under threat, UK faces growing risk of chemical and biological attacks and breakdown of world order. Defense Secretary warns. Oh, you're going to see people walking on the streets with these soon. And SEC braces for market manipulation crackdown expands staff to power to start new probes. Why are they doing this? Well, you saw what happened with GameStop, and you saw what happened to other things. That when the average man or the poor man or the day-to-day consumer trader gets makes something, or they just like they do on the back end, the big wolves of Wall Street do on the back end, where they coordinate and have meetings with each other, what they're going to do, what they're going to short, what they're going to trash, what they're going to help, what they're going to boost, what they're going to pump and dump, what they're going to manipulate, gold and silver and stuff like that. So instead, I think they're going to start going after people that made money on GameStop or people that made money on AMC, right? Nigerian cryptocurrency, CBN, ban crypto, Dogecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, trading in Nigeria as China, India, and Iran ban cryptocurrency trades. So if they can ban, or they have a way of not, the only thing I could see them do, honestly, is tax the hell out of it. So any money that goes, so you got cash, right? So a lot of issues with criminals is they have the money, but they have no way of making it liquid. They got cash, it's illegal. They can't leave the country with more than 10,000. They can't deposit more than a couple of thousand before they get looked at. Weird. They can't. So the only way is to layer it through a company, through money laundering, layering money. That's the only way to make it work, pay your taxes on it, and actually do it legit. But unfortunately, they're saying, like, the problem is having money is like cryptocurrency, and it's not liquid. So you got to put it into an account, or if you pay off a credit card with it, let's say you deposit it into your account. Right there. In Canada, the government of Canada is getting every Canadian banking information to know what they have, what they're banking, what they're doing. So this way, the government has a grip on all your money. What's coming in, what's going out, what you're making, what you're not making. So the government will know. So if you, let's say you deposit, let's say 5,000 in Bitcoin. Well, I'm gonna sell 5,000 worth of Bitcoin and drop it into my account. Well, that will send a red flag, okay? Then it gets reported up to the higher ups. Then the governments will say, "Oh, where do you get this?" So let's charge them 50%, 30%. I think India is going to do 25%. So the money needs to find a way. Unless I'm trading between somebody, is different. Someone says, "Yeah, I could pay you 5,000 in crypto instead of paying you 5,000 in cash." I could say, "Sure." I give him my whatever, we scan my wallet or whatever he does, and he sends me that crypto. The problem is that once it hits, I know this because I have made deposits and stuff through my company and through companies I've owned where we make deposits. We have to declare every deposit where it's coming from, right? So I even have to declare my income that I make off the little AdSense that I make on YouTube when it hits the account. They're like, at the end of the year, what's this, whatever this is? From Google. Oh, that's YouTube. Oh, okay. What's this? This is that. This is that. This. Oh, okay. So this way it clears. But if I'm not, paying the tax on this, there could be consequences down the road. I believe in crypto. I'm a true believer in cryptocurrency. I'm a true believer of eliminating the middleman. The banks are terrible. They're evil. I'm on board with that. It's still in its pioneer stages, in my opinion. It does have potential. It's a great idea. Everything's going digital. I get it. I totally get it. But the thing is, they're going to find ways to know when something hits your bank account, and they already do. Because every time I have something, I get a letter or I get reassessed. By the way, you have a deposit of this from 2016. We're reassessing your income from that year, and you have to pay back this much more tax. I've already got reassessed for 2 years already in the last 3 months. Okay? So I'm just letting you guys know. It's great. Yeah, you could send me some crypto. I send you some crypto. I sell you something. I give you crypto. But the second that hits a bank account or pays off a credit card or a MasterCard, or it goes into a friend's account or something or someone's account, maybe PayPal, you might get away with PayPal. Maybe. I'm not sure. Comment below if you know the answer. I'm looking forward to reading that, what you guys think. And you wouldn't be able to layer it through a company because it needs to hit an account first. You see, with criminals, they have a stack of cash. It needs to make that liquid, right? The problem with that, it is liquid, but they're not going to go buy $5 dinners at McDonald's with it for the next 5 years. They need that money to move, right? So they can make more. So if they're going to invest it in the market or real estate, so it has to go into an account, right? So they could layer it, but in Canada, they had a law for many years. They ask no questions if you buy a house in cash. No questions, no questions, no. What was that? No questions, no problems. Yeah, in Canada, if you bought a house in cash in Canada, up until like last year, no questions, no problems. They don't ask you anything if you pay cash. So that's the problem we're having with money laundering in Canada. So that's in Australia and New Zealand and the UK and parts of California, Oregon, and Washington State. Anyways, guys, let's go to Florida man story. Power outage during Super Bowl likely caused by a man joyriding an excavator. Excavator struck power lines in Fort Lauderdale neighborhood, neighbor says. So here he is right here.
A Local 10 viewer sending us this photo and cell phone video showing a man who they say randomly started off.
So he randomly, here it is. Let me just...
operating an excavator that was parked on the street for another project.
Yeah, another project.
At one point, they say the stranger knocked the machine into power lines along Northwest
there he goes.
13th Street before eventually hopping out and riding away on a bicycle. This video allegedly shows that man leaving.
He's got no seat on his bike.
That witness telling us police.
So a lot of people were out at Super Bowl there. Unfortunately, I feel so sorry for the people that couldn't watch their Super Bowl. And because of Florida man joyriding excavator. Guys, I look forward to reading what you guys have to say in the comments below. Thank you so much for being part of the channel and supporting it by sharing this video. We will talk very soon. God bless and Godspeed. I have spoken.